So when I installed these two batteries recently, I left room for one more, and we're gonna put that other battery in. And while we were ordering panels, we've got these solar panels over here, these Hyundai 440 watt bifacials. That's gonna be a east facing array on the east side of my house so we can catch some of that morning sun. My wife pointed that out one morning and I was so happy. We went ahead and ordered those right away. She even put it on her credit card. Might have to marry that woman again. But I've already got the battery in, and we're gonna put this battery in, but probably get to the east facing array after. But the battery's ready to get put in. All I gotta do is charge it up using my charge inverters and bring it out here and hook it up. So let's get to it. All right, so I need to get this battery top balanced. I'm gonna charge it up to 100%. And then when all my other batteries are at 100%, I will connect it up and add it to the pack. I'll have 12 batteries total, 6 of these 280 amp hour Power Pro batteries, all-weather batteries, and the EG4, 6 of those rack mount batteries that are in here. But we need to charge this puppy up to 100%. And when I got my Charge Inverter Plus, I've got these cables that are made for doing exactly this. So we're going to connect the Charge Inverter Plus using these cables to our battery and charge it up before we connect it to the pack. So let's do that now. Before we charge on the charge inverter, we need to turn on our battery breaker, turn on the BMS. There we go. And she's at 55%. Turn on the breaker for the charge inverter. All right, we got it all hooked up. Had a problem with the comms cable. Not sure what's happening there. Couldn't get the communication to happen. But I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the breaker here and get this puppy charging up here. And as we can see, it's ramping up. Charging amperage going up. I have it set to 77, 76.9. Good enough for government work. And let's see what's happening here. And we can see we're getting 77 amps right there. 91. And the other great thing is I'm using the Grow Watt system. I have my 400 volt system to charge my battery for my 48 volt system again. It's using 4,400 watts-ish to run the charge inverter from the Grow Watt. Batteries are pulling 4688. I hate when it pulls a little from the grid though. The Grow Watt system likes to pull something from the grid if it's available, even though you tell it not to. Grid trickle again. 99. Let's just do 55.7. That'll work. Getting there. All right, charging amps is 0, 100%. All right, so I've got my vertical strut pieces put in for the third battery. The way I did that was I just measured between the vertical strut pieces, this one here and this one here, because I want the same spacing on the third battery. And then I just measured that coming from here to here, it's 19 inches. And then just like on both of these, it's 14.5 between the two vertical strut pieces. So I went 14.5 here and then put those in. So now I just need to put the mounting bracket on the strut pieces, the vertical strut pieces, and get the battery out here and bolt it to the wall. Got my spring nuts in place, in the correct place now. Had them in the wrong place for a second there. And I think I'm good to go. Gonna go ahead and put the bracket on there. That's gonna go on there, something like that, when I line it up. All right, got the bracket up for the third battery. Just got to get that puppy up there when the system is ready to marry them together. I gotta top balance my system because I charged the battery up to 100%. But it's gonna be awesome having 3 of them out here. Can't wait. By myself, I can get it kind of close to lined up, but then I need somebody to help me get it exactly on the little bracket. But it's close. So we screwed the top on. Now we gotta close these off because I don't have a inverter going on top. EG4 sends all these just for that. Yeah, if you noticed it's leaning, that's because the bottom's in and the top's out, and I'm waiting for my friend Chris to come home tomorrow to help me with that. Keys to lock it up. And these little guys that were in these holes, could tie it to an inverter. Top all sealed up. Just have to run the wires and the comms after I finalize the position. And the reason why it's not finalized is I was able to get the bottom part in, but not the top. So for a one-man job with a hand truck, we got to stop here till I get a little assistance. But I think it looks pretty cool already. The 3 batteries. That's awesome. More power. She can't stand it anymore, Captain. We need more power. Put a piece of need to unscrew these guys so I can freely move the cabinet, and that way I don't have to disturb the other one while I'm connecting them together. And that is 4. Forgot to press record, but all I did was put the glue on it, lined it up on that side. I made sure that this was still free so I could maneuver it on there and make sure the length was exactly right by not having the PVC go into the adapter all the way if I needed to. So use that little bit of play. Bingo. All right, got everything in place. Just got to wire it up. Once we get to the appropriate voltage, matching the voltages, I got to make sure that this comms cable can reach all the way to the end because it goes to my rack batteries. So I wanted to explain how I actually managed to get the battery onto the top part of the bracket that I was having a problem with. And I didn't record it because I wasn't sure if it was going to work at all. But what I did was I got me a piece of 2x6 and I wedged it underneath here. Got it underneath there really good. And then all I did was I pushed down on the back end here using it as a lever. And while I was pushing down, I pushed on the top of it. I didn't have the conduit box on it, but I just pushed on the top like this as I pushed down on that lever, and it went right in. So if you're having a problem getting it in there by yourself, I showed you how to walk it up and get it where you want it. And then we need to use a lever to get it onto the bracket. Now, if you don't have it raised up like this, you could probably use a piece of cinder block to create that leverage, even if it's flat on the ground. Time to shut this puppy down so we can wire in the new battery. First, shut off our load breaker and our grid breaker. Now shut these puppies off. Got a grid disconnect over here. PV. Battery breaker, and then we start on the batteries. mess on this one. That's off. Do a quick voltage check. Got my trusty Klein meter here. Oh, yeah, we are right. It's pretty much normal. So I connected that one. Okay, got my little coupler on. Extended that with this little guy plugged in over here. So now I've got ground and then I got communication. That just leaves our positive and negative. Positive on this side. Got comms. Already set my additional battery outside the new one to battery 6, which is this ID. So battery 6 needs to be battery 7 needs battery 8, and so forth. And then we got to make battery 11 battery 12, which I'll do in a second. But let me start switching these. Looks good to me. Okay, I powered everybody up. Got to give it a little time for the BMS to recognize all the batteries. I'm going to check everything, make sure everything's fine before we put the house back on the system. And I need to check that online with the app. Going to do that now. So we're trying to get to our 100%. This is going to be the first time at 100% since I increased my capacity. But I want to try to top balance on just sun energy and not use the grid, because I haven't used the grid in a long time and I don't want to break my record. So come on, sun. But as you can see, this is the predicted cloud cover. We've been having clouds every day. It's been nuts. So hopefully today we can get there with the added battery for the first time. So we made it. Got to 100%. I'm really shocked because of all the cloud cover again today. I mean, it's been about 15 days in a row of either rain or just cloud cover and rain. And we got to that 100% with the 2280 amp hour battery after adding 280 amp hours, which is another EG4. 280 amp hour all-weather outdoor battery, wall battery. Awesome. Glad to have the extra capacity. Happy with that. Because we got a storm in the Gulf that's trying to do something. God knows what it's going to do. But it will rain more for sure in the next few days. I didn't want to have to pay the man to charge up my batteries. I did it with the sun. Even with all this cloud cover, I managed to get it to 100%. And the main reason was it was breaking the cloud cover right in the middle of the day. Started about 12 o'clock, right at noon, and gave me till about 2:45 before the clouds started coming back in. That's about right, because it definitely curtailed my production. I had 68.1 kilowatts for the day on solar. 55.6 went to my batteries. That's good. I like that. Evidently, my increase in my solar panels on my pergola has been a successful experiment as far as getting me to where I can survive cloudy days, several in a row, and be able to charge back after like 5-6 days in a row of not having good sun. So thank God I got my other battery put in and those additional panels on my pergola, which has helped me stay above board without using the grid. As you can see, we continue with all the clouds, 100% cloud cover. Wrong time of the day too, right after 12 o'clock. It started at 12:15, the 100% cloud cover, but that's why we over panel. You may need more panels than you may calculate because of cloud cover. And even with that cloud cover, I'm still got 4,000 watts going to my battery, and my panels are producing collectively 5.81 kilowatts. So I hope you enjoyed the video, folks. We're going to be doing that east-facing array pretty soon, and I'll see you next time. Remember, it's an addiction. Everything in moderation.
Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed our video.